Well, folks, welcome again. I am so excited about today's topic. I want to talk about 5 things that should never break you. All of us get broken by the issues of life. You know, when it's not relationships, it's finances, it's failed businesses, it's disappointments, you name it. We've all been broken by something in life. But there are 5 important things I want you to make sure that you stay alert and you do not allow these things to break you, to break your zeal, to break your excitement, to break your hope. You know, the hope of believing that things can get better. You know, as you're driving, maybe at work, at home, you're listening to this podcast. I believe somebody is in the gym right now and, you're thinking, wow, maybe there's a lot of things that have, caused you to have a heartbreak, if you will, or an emotional breakdown, over the last few years or months or during this pandemic. But you cannot. Listen, there's so much God has in store for you that you cannot allow in this season of your life the issues of life to break you. When you are broken, you're not whole. And when you're not whole, the problem is you're not able to appreciate who you are. Don't forget, you are fearfully and you're wonderfully made. If you're a man, God has created you the way He has created you. Embrace your uniqueness. Embrace the fact that, okay, whatever you're experiencing in life, that's your journey. That's your journey. And don't be ashamed of your journey, whether you've made some mistakes or not. There's hope for you. As a woman, I don't care what you've been through. There's hope for you. All you have to do is to believe God that, you know what? Your situation is subjected to change. I know you've heard me say this over and over. Every problem has an expiration date. Let me say it again, because some of you, it's going to take me repeating these things over and over for you to get it. Every problem has an expiration date, right? So I want to talk about the 5 things you should never let break you. And I want to start with number 5 all the way down to number 1. So number 5, I should say, your own failures and flaws. Your personal failures and flaws. Never allow your failures to break you. Look, we're not perfect. I know some people want to shove down your throat, when you mess up, whether it's your stupidity or ignorance, or you got blindsided by the issues of life. Failures happen, right? And it's not a matter of who fails. It's who conquer the failures that's most important in life. And somehow, maybe I'm too much of a believer in you. Somehow, I just believe you are better than your failures. Somehow, I just believe that you are greater than your failures, that God has purpose in you the ability to rebound, the ability to get back up again, the ability to do it all over again. Why? Because God is a God of second chance. He gives us chances over chances and opportunities over opportunities. So don't let your failures, don't let what you have done in the past to break you. I mean, how long are you going to sit there and ponder and get discouraged and frustrated and angry over what was done? Okay, you purchased a house, you purchased the car, you purchased items, you ran up your credit cards, you made bad financial decisions. I did. I made some horrible financial decisions that to this day I regret it. I regret that I had an opportunity in life in the past to manage what God has blessed me with. I listen, before I became a spiritual leader, advisor, and mentor, I was making serious money, good money. I mean, at my young age, it was just, because again, when you're young and you're not used to certain things, right? And you get it all of a sudden, because you have no fathers or mentors, if you will, in your life, you try to protect it and you try to live, trying to impress people. I didn't have a counsel around me. So I lost, a lot. Had I preserved and managed my resources years ago, oh God, I tell you what, I would be more in a better position and be able to bless people even more. But I'm not going to sit around and get discouraged and just allow my past failures to dictate my future. Come on now. So I know maybe you've made some bad financial decisions. What are you going to do now? Because listen, things are only going to get more expensive. So until you admit that you made bad decisions and then make a commitment to say, okay, you know what, God, I'm going to make the effort right now to ensure that, okay, I'm going to use my failures to my advantage. But don't let it break you. Don't let it make you think, oh, you will never get a house again because the first one was repossessed or you lost it. Or you spent the savings that you were putting together for a down payment. Don't be so hard on yourself because you failed at relationships. Here it is, you're blaming everybody else. All men are dogs. All men is one thing they want. Da 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 da. And so forth. When you've not met all the men in the world, all men are not like that. All women are not like that. Come on now. So you have to make up in your mind to make that decision to say, you know what? My failure to manage my previous relationships have nothing to do with my future relationships. So you admit where you're wrong. Search your life, take inventory of your own personal life, and see where you need to adjust your attitudes and be better and learn to even understand people more, learn the art of good communication. A lot of people, the reason why they fail in their relationships, they don't know how to communicate. They're selfish and self-centered in their thoughts. And because they are that way mentally, when they're communicating with people, they shut out people's opinions. They don't even give people a chance because their opinions must rule. And you're never going to have healthy relationships with that kind of an attitude. And that's why a lot of people fail at relationships. But you have a chance now to say to yourself, I'm going to, be better at this. I know I failed at it before, so I'm not going to dog out everybody. I'm not going to put everybody in the same category. I'm going to check on me, and I'm going to not let that break me. I'm not going to let it break me mentally to think, oh, I'll never be in love again. I'll never have a great lover. Because some people talk that way all because they're bitter. And it's a shame that, yes, you had 2 or 3 people who broke your heart. And here it is, God has the right person for you, but because you're bitter and you keep focusing on the past relationships that failed, that you actually sabotage your opportunity to have a good man in your life, a good woman in your life. Think about that. Maybe you failed at business. Maybe you failed at certain things, whatever it may be. Maybe you failed at an exam. I have so many stories I can tell you. People went to pass the bar exam, they failed it. Nursing exam, they failed it. A certification, they failed it, right? And then others who take it the first time brag. And sometimes, it's insensitive. Sometimes you feel like, oh God, what's wrong with me? And it's not that you didn't try. Okay, your story's not like theirs. So you have to not allow the failure of you not passing the exam thinking, okay, you're not going to do it again, get discouraged, because that discouragement will keep you from pushing, will keep you from being hopeful, will keep you from having faith to do it again. And let me tell you something, I failed at some things, and God will say, do it again. And in my second try, on my third try, bam, I won. I was victorious. So don't let those things break you. Some of you, as you're watching and as you're listening right now, you know emotionally you've been broken. You've been broken, and you're better than that. Your life is so full of promise. Do not. I come to you today like the Apostle Paul. I beseech you, do not allow your past failures, your flaws, to break you. You look in the mirror. Okay, who got into your head to make you think that you're not beautiful, that you're not acceptable, that you are not presentable? Who told you that? Okay, you're skinny, you're overweight. Okay, you've got breakouts on your face, shape-wise. Who got into your head? You're looking at your flaws. Where in the Bible it says God is concerned about all of those things? Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully, especially women. Please hear this. Anytime you get so caught up into trying to hide your imperfection, to be perfect before a man or anybody, you are going to shortchange yourself, and you're only setting yourself up for failure. Listen to me. You have to learn this, and men have to understand this too, even the way we think, because sometimes we put the pressure on women. We put the pressure on women. You have to look a certain way for us to look at you, for us to appreciate you, for us to show you that we're into you or into women. Men do that. So women go out of their way and they put on all kinds of makeups and they wear all kinds of added things to their body just to get a man to say, wow, you look beautiful. Yeah, wow, you're attractive to me, and so forth. And here's the crazy thing about it. Remember, all those put-ons are temporary. You got to take them off. So if you have flaws in your life, okay, I'm not telling you to walk out the street and just look like a bomb. I'm not saying that. But at some point in time, you have to embrace your imperfection. You have to embrace your flaws. You have to embrace it. You have to go out there as a man and you've got to say, okay, fine. I'm not saying, of course, we all fix up ourselves. We all do things to ourselves. That's great. But don't you do it to impress people. Don't. You're a guy, hey, let a girl see you, as men, we grow and our bellies, sometimes it's just life. Of course, it's our diet and all that kind of stuff. I get it. So you take care of your body. I struggled with that. My stomach, man, I'm telling you, man, this is the thing I'm trying to fight here. And I eat healthy. And I try not to eat late at night. And you hear all kinds of stories. Doctors tell you this, and fine, they're going to give you their medical reasons and so forth. But sometimes you fight it, and it ain't working. And I had to look in the mirror one day and say, okay, I'm going to work on it, but this doesn't define me. Same thing with women. All right? You got to learn to, your husband, you got to learn to let that special person in your life, that man, look at you and look, no makeup, no weave on, nothing. He must be able to look at you and have that same intense love and attraction when you are just natural versus all this nice put on and you go on a date. If you're dating somebody and then when you get married to him in the night of the honeymoon, you come out the bathroom and so forth. He jumped over the balcony thinking, what in the world did I get myself? He looking for his wife in the community. Same thing with you. You see the guy and everything is fine. All of a sudden, when When you get in the bedroom and so forth, and he take off that waistband and so forth, and come on now, his belly gets in the way. Learn to accept your flaws and your imperfection, and don't let it break you. Number 4, when people disappoint you. Do not let when people disappoint you that it will break you. Because you know what? People are people. I learned this. Sometimes they don't mean it. Some people, yes, it's intentional. Some people, they just don't even know. People will disappoint you. Your family will, your parents will, your siblings will, the community will, church people will, business people will, your business partner, your coworkers. Life happens. People will disappoint you. People will make you promises. And people will like, God, you open up your heart. You give people access to your inner circle, to your heart, and they disappoint you. Don't let that break you. Do not let what people do to you cause you to be bitter, angry at yourself, or angry at them, and then be suspicious of everybody else in the world. Learn to take people at their word. I have a philosophy. I don't care what anybody comes to me and tell me about you. My mindset is that's their experience with you. Now, you may be a devil, a difficult person to work with. I get that. I want to experience it for myself. Now, I'll be cautious. I'll kind of like, they said you are this, so I'll look out for certain things. However, you have to prove to me who you are. I do not judge you based on somebody else's opinions of you. I don't. And some of you may think that's not a good way to live your life. I find it's best for me. It keeps my heart pure and clean and away from being bitter and angry against people. Hello. So you have to learn, my brothers and sisters, not to let people disappoint you. People will. They will disappoint you. But don't let that break you. So if somebody has disappointed you in life, you know that person. Some of you are thinking right now, yeah, I was really disappointed about that. Let it go. Don't let it break you. Don't let it break the woman that's in you, the man that's in you, the creativity that's in you, the wonderful countenance that you carry. Don't let that break you. Number 3, people's opinions of you. So not only number 5, your own flaws and failures. Number 4, when people disappoint you, but people's opinions of you. Don't let people's opinions of you break you. People are going to talk. People are going to talk. You know what? I've discovered the people who don't know me sometimes create their narratives of me. Now, why am I going to live my life worried about what people are saying when they don't even know me? How can you judge me based on information that's not factual? Some people judge people based on their feelings. Oh, my spirit. Sometimes the Holy Spirit reveals things to us, yes, but sometimes it ain't no Holy Spirit. Sometimes we just got a bad spirit, man. Sometimes we're just too negative. Sometimes our vibes are just horrible and off. And therefore, we're broken and hurt. So therefore, because we don't trust, of course, then, we're just negative. But don't let people's opinion. People are going to talk. I allow people to talk. I allow people to form their own opinions, but I get to choose which one is valid from which is not. So you have to self-evaluate yourself. Whatever you hear people say about you, is that true? If it's not true, then why is it going to break you? If it's true, then privately search yourself and then change. Be better. Because there's nothing better than a person who privately fix themselves so that publicly you can embarrass your critics. That's it. So don't let people's opinions. Okay, they don't like you. They say all this about you. So many of you are living your life based on what people think and what people feel. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. You cannot please people. I learned this the hard way. People will be by your side as long as they get what they want. Watch this, as long as they get what they want, as long as they don't feel that you're a threat to them or you're above them or they have to be submitted to you. If not, people flip on you. They'll flip on you. I've discovered too, the people who are even closest to you sometimes can form opinions because they disagree with you and then start blasting you. Right? So don't let what people say affect you. And sometimes people don't like me for that because they'll be out there saying all kinds of stuff and I don't address it because to me, they don't exist. I hate to say it. They don't exist. They don't exist in my world. They don't pay my bills. They don't help me to get up every morning. They don't fix my problems. Hello. They don't put money in my pocket. Why am I going to stress myself and break my heart over people who don't contribute to my development? Hello. That's a good one there. You ought to tweet it. Don't waste your time with people who don't help your development. Come on now. So it's very important, my brothers and sisters, that you understand that. Number 2, financial struggles. That's a big one. Don't let financial struggles break you. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Everybody go through struggles. I can tell you stories upon stories of my struggles financially. It's been horrible. Oh, Jesus. But God has delivered me. I never allowed it to break me. I just believe one day I'm going to get out of it. It took me years. My story's not that bam. One day I woke up and $1 million got deposited in my account. No, it took a while. Consistency, my willingness to change, my willingness to take counsel, my willingness to learn and work the process and discover opportunities and take advantage of them. So if you're in a financial struggle today, trust me, ma'am and sir, there's a better way. I see you in the future out of that financial struggle. I see you one day sharing your testimony of how God helped you to break the curse of poverty. I see you paying your bills. I see you repairing your credit. I see you owning things. I see that. I see you becoming a blessing in the kingdom of God. Why? Because you have the resources. I see you advancing the gospel. I see that. So don't let your current financial struggle break you. You're a single mom, a single dad. Don't let your current situation, understand it's just one income trying to make ends meet with these kids. Don't let that break you. Stop going to your bed crying at night. Stop stressing yourself. Stop creating more medical issues that are unnecessary due to stress, all because you're going through a financial struggle. Stop it. Don't do it. Don't let financial struggles break you. And number 1, and I kind of like this one, when desires doesn't manifest. When desires doesn't manifest. Don't let things that have yet to be manifested, not that it's not coming, but it's just not there yet. Don't let those things break you. Maybe you believe in God for a breakthrough in an area. It hasn't happened. Don't let that break you. Don't let that cause you to lose your joy. Don't let that cause you to change who you are. Because listen, your attitude is a direct result of what's happening internally. The joy of the Lord is your strength. If there's joy in you, you'll get strength. But if there's no joy in you, you walk around with an attitude, you walk around edgy and everything, and you're inconsistent. And so for 1 minute you're happy, 1 minute you're fine. You're with someone right now, and they're freaking themselves out because they can't understand what in the world is wrong with you because your attitude. It's not meant, some people, it's menopause. Some people say it's their cycle. It's crazy. And ain't none of that stuff. You're just emotionally broken. Because 1 minute you're happy, the man is on edge, or the woman is on edge. Because some men, we got some real issues. Our attitude, we're stressed because we ain't got no money and we can't take care of our family and we don't think that we're doing what we're supposed to do and so forth. No, okay, things will manifest later. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're with someone and that person don't appreciate and value your effort, you ought to think twice, man. Especially if you're dating. You're not married yet. Oh, if you are doing your best and somebody you're dating, you're doing all that you know how to do, and they're taking advantage of you and they keep comparing you with somebody else, and they don't even appreciate the fact that you're trying and the little that you're giving them. Listen, be warned today. Don't let their attitude break you. Maybe they don't belong to you. Because you can not always perform perfectly. You're going to fail at some things. And you don't want anybody in your life that when you fail, they're pushing you down more. You want somebody who would lift you up. So my brothers and sisters, those are the 5 things I want you to not allow them to break you. Not allow them to break you. Number 1, when desires doesn't manifest. 2, financial struggles. 3, people's opinions of you. 4, when people disappoint you. And 5, your own failures and flaws. Now, this was a good one. I hope you'll take the time out to give a little comment. I gotta have it. Tell me what you think about today's podcast. Did it help you? Did it motivate you? Did it stir up something on the inside of you? And then, not only should you post your comments because I'm reading them, I want you to forward this to someone. Tell somebody, at least one person. Could you do me a favor? At least one person. Share this with them. I love you. We'll talk next time.